Hi guys, it's Patty with Patty's Paper Designs. How are all of you today? Doing well, I hope. I'm doing pretty good. I'm going to come on here and start a little project using, what are these? Junk envelopes. Yep, we're going to use junk envelopes. And you don't have to have junk envelopes. If you want to use new envelopes, you can do that. But if you got lots of junk envelopes, you would probably want to do that, use the junk envelopes. So, I cannot remember exactly whose channel I saw this on. I think her name's Linda. It's been quite a while since I saw it. So I'm not sure that I'm exactly going to be doing exactly what she did. But you want to start out with envelopes. I started out with ones that were pretty much the same width. You can use window envelopes if you want, or you don't have to use window envelopes. I'm actually not going to use window envelopes. I'm just showing you what this is sort of like I don't know, sort of like the beginning of a prototype, I guess. So what you want to do is you want to tear your envelopes off. Well, you want to determine how tall you want your envelopes to be. And these are going to go on a page. So, or they don't have to go on a page. I mean, I'm not going to actually glue it down, but I probably will maybe put it in a pocket, or it can attach to the side. You can maybe go on a tuck. It can actually just be a standalone, like an ephemera holder. It can be a standalone ephemera holder. It probably is going to end up fairly thick, so you may not want to even put it on a page. It all depends on what you do with it, honestly. So I'm going to fill mine up with ephemera. So it's going to be a standalone, but I did measure it to where it could be inside a journal, like maybe in the front pocket or something. So I've measured, the first one is 7 inches long. So then I tore that off. Then the next smallest one is 6.5 inches long, and I tore that off with my tear ruler. And then the next smallest is 6 inches. I tore that off with my tear ruler. And then the next one is 5.5, and I tore that off with my tear ruler. And I went, actually I had them upside down. I went and I marked them with my pencil before I did all the tearing. I did all the marking first. And then you want to make sure that for this particular project, you want to make sure your opening's at the top, like such. And I'll show you a couple of envelopes here in just a minute. So that's what you want to do with that. And then you want to go along and you want to make sure your sides are glued shut. These envelopes were, I guess they weren't torn open. Well, yeah, some of them were torn open. So I had to make sure that like these little flaps were glued down. And you just want to put a thin bead of glue along the edge here, close them up, and then, you know, if you need to glue that, then you want to be careful that you're not closing up your envelope. So, and then you're going to end up with something that looks like this after you get them all torn. I've only used 4 envelopes in this particular, what I say this was, sort of like a, it's like a, oh shoot, what's the word? Starts with a P. Prototype. Sort of like a beginning of a prototype. So it's going to open up like this. When we get it attached, it's going to open up like this. And such. So let's go ahead and start with the real deal. So I've got 2 envelopes over here that I've already trimmed them. So this is my, all right. I've got other envelopes that are going to fit in here. I've got them all prepared already. So we're going to go ahead and glue them shut. So these envelopes do not have any windows. I didn't use windows for these, and they are brand new envelopes. They're like return envelopes for, like, you know, different, I don't know, bills, I guess. I don't know what came in them, honestly. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue on each edge just to make sure they're good and shut. And I hope I'm not yelling. Does it sound like I'm yelling? Maybe I better talk a little bit more quietly. I'm kind of hard of hearing, so sometimes I don't know how loud I'm talking. So now after I do this, I pick it up and I make sure I haven't glued on the inside, because we don't want to close up our envelope, because we want to put ephemera in there. So there's that one, and we're going to close this one up. I'm going to run through this real quick, hopefully, because I know I make really long videos sometimes and don't really show you a whole lot of anything, just the same stuff over and over, and I don't want to do that. I want to make it informative and be able to, you know, show you something that I'm doing and give you some ideas without being boring. Don't want to be boring. Who wants to be boring? I don't. I want a dry, wet one. Do you have dry, wet ones? My wet ones always dry out before I get to use them all while they're wet. So I got lots of dry, wet ones. But then I have a little spray bottle that I can give them some wetness if I need to. Make sure that's not glued shut, and it's not glued shut. So now okay, so it doesn't really matter one way or the other. I mean, if you have the closure on the front or the closure on the back. I think I put the closure on the front on most of the ones that I've already prepared. So I guess I'm just going to carry that out the same way. Doesn't really matter because you're going to see both sides no matter what. So I am going to start inking. I've got some stencils over here. And I want to use this stencil for the front, but I don't want to do the front just yet. So let's see. For this side, which is not the front side, it's the back of the front page, I am going to get my partially wet paper out here that I've been using. And oh gosh, looky here, I need to put my glue lid on. I keep forgetting to do that. Come on, go back on there. There, okay, very good. Okay, so I've got these blending brushes here. I can remember which ones or which color will be in good shape. Okay. I am going to start with the yellow, so that means I am going to start on the front. I don't mean to confuse you, but just watch and you'll get unconfused, I think. So I am going to try to line these circles up with the middle as best as I can. And I think that's probably going to be right about there, maybe, I think. Except I'm a little crooked. Now I'm doing it this way because I only have a limited number of blending brushes. And I don't want to, what's the word called? Contaminate my brushes too badly with colors that I don't want on them. So we're going to use yellow. This is mustard seed distress oxide. I have a lot of distress oxide inks. I have some oxide inks. I got some other inks that I couldn't tell you exactly what they are at the moment. I'd have to look at them. So I'm just going to blend down in the middle here. And that's all we're going to do on this one for now. And then I'm going to brush that off because I am going to use orange on the other side. And I am going to use this this stencil here. So how are all of you? Are you doing okay? How's your weather? It's really steamy here in Indianapolis. It's been so hot and so humid. It's like a sauna outside. And I have a lung illness, and it's just really kind of killing me, I'm telling you. So let's do some orange here. Boy, I got a lot of orange there, didn't I? So we had some rain a couple of days ago during the evening. It didn't really rain very much though. And we had a couple of sprinkles yesterday, but not enough to even wet the ground. So that's not helping. Our grass is all brown. And I don't like my grass brown. My husband and I had an irrigation system put in a while back, and they haven't turned it on yet. I had to call them and ask them, what's up? Why haven't you turned on our irrigation system? And so the guy is supposed to be out here in a little while, and I'm hoping he doesn't mess with my doorbell. Because I don't want to answer the door. I mean, I don't know if it's going to mess with my phone. That's what I don't know. I don't know if it's going to mess with my phone. Now I've got that one, and I like this one here. I'm going to do this one. This is these are little, I think it's called teardrops, but to me they look like little flowers. And I think this is just a generic, or maybe not, I don't know. Is it a generic? No, it's called Teardrop Floral, and it's scrapbook.com. And I'm going to put pink on this one. Where's my pink brush? This one I was using pink. I was also using purple. Actually, you know what? Where is my purple? Maybe I can do pink and purple both on this one. That would look pretty, wouldn't it? That's what we'll do. We'll do pink and purple both. So, let's start here and do this. And come down a little ways and do some more. Oops, oops. Don't want to move it too much. want to get it out of alignment or whatever you want to call it. So now I haven't said, I don't know if you read in the description or on the video title, but my friend Julie Torrens, she makes printables, and they are available at PM Artist Studios, and we are going to use mostly her summer set to decorate this. And I think it's going to be really pretty. And so I'm trying to make this sort of Julie-fied a little bit, if you know what I mean. If Julie watches this, she'll probably get it. I'm doing a little bit something different. I don't normally, whoops. I'm hurrying around too much. I don't know that I've ever done a video using my inks, and well, my inks, yeah, I have, but using my stencils. I don't think I've ever done a video using my stencils, and I have quite a few of them. Okay, get lined back up, guys. All right, there we go. So, let's see, what can I tell you about me? Oh, I got some good news. My sweet son. Well, I've got, both my sons are sweet, but I'm just talking about this one particular one right now. And he's being a sweetie pie. I better get those straightened up down there. He's going to be over Saturday. He was wanting to come over last Saturday, but they had a problem where he's living, and he had to take care of some stuff. So anyway, oh, isn't that pretty? So pretty. So anyway, he's going to come by tomorrow. No, not tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday. He's coming by Saturday, and he's going to he's going to do some work around my house. I'm so excited. He's going to, where's the one I wanted to use? Oh, here it is. He's going to he told me to get together a list, and he would do whatever it is I needed done, because he said, I know when you got things out of control at home, it sort of makes your mind nervous. Something like that. And he's right, it does make my mind nervous when I have things out of control. And right now I do have a lot of things out of control. So now on the back I think I want to do pink and green. So I'm going to brush off my purple as best I can. And we're going to do some more pink. This is called Picked Raspberry. And the purple I just used is Wilted Violet. So we're going to put some Picked Raspberry on. I'm not really sure this is the one I wanted. Oh yeah, it is, because I already used the one that is Abstract, I guess is what that is called, Abstract. Yeah, I got lots of crazy things going on here. My craft room is out of control. My yard is out of control. I can't get out there and do anything to it. And you know, I knew several years ago that there was going to come a time when I had to, downsize everything, downsize my yard, and, get more like handicap friendly in the house for both me and my husband. Because we were getting older. I mean, well, we weren't getting older then, but, we were. but we weren't that much older then. But you know, my husband, he had heart disease and lung disease and was very handicapped there in the last few years of his life. And I need to use that one again. So we had to get some things downsized for him. And then for me, I might want to use that pink again. For me, you know, with my lung illness, I gotta get a wet one. I've got a wet one over here. I didn't have my lung illness back when I started downsizing, but I knew that, you know, there was going to come a time when I was too old to do anything in the yard, and I had a lot of stuff going on in the yard. I had a lot of flowers, and I don't want wet on that right now. I had a lot of flowers, and I had a lot of, you know, just yard work to do. So I knew I needed to downsize that, and so I took all my flowers out. I had perennials all along my house. We've got a fenced-in backyard. I had perennials, with the exception of a tree line. I got a tree line with pine trees, but other than that, I had one side of my yard had vegetables about the entire length of my fence, which is pretty good size, probably maybe 80 feet. And about 4 feet out from it, that was all in vegetables. And then I had the rest of it was all perennials. I took all that out. And I had grass seed planted, and so now I've got a lot of grass. And that's why we put in the irrigation system, because when it gets hot here in Indianapolis, because we have some pretty hot, dry summers. You know, we can get up into the 90s and mid 90s, sometimes even in the 100 mark, and stay there for, you know, maybe a week or two at a time. I mean, like right now we're in the 90s, and normally we aren't there yet. Normally we don't get to be in the 90s until, let's see, when, late July, early August, that time frame. But we're there now, and we've been hot and humid all week long. Oh, that's pretty. Oh, I like that one. Okay, so this one is done. Yep, that one's done. Okay, so now we have this other one over here. Where did I put it? Here it is. Okay, I've got this yellow. I'm going to put this one aside. Okay, I've got this yellow. Where's my stencil? Here it is. All right, so I've got that. Okay, so I want to do these leaves. I want to do these leaves in green. The leaves that are over here. I want to do them in green. Oops, we moved. We don't want to move. So what else can I do to ramble on? Because I don't have really much else to say. I've got some exciting news. Or at least it's exciting for me. I'm going to go on, it's actually a vacation. I have a timeshare, and you know, I didn't realize that was 2 sections of vine. I probably should have put it either one section or the other section, but I didn't, and you may not even be able to see what I'm talking about. So I have a timeshare, and they called me not too long ago and told me that I needed to schedule my timeshare because I was going to be losing it. You know, my time was going to expire. Well, I didn't want my time. I don't want my time to expire. So I asked him, you know, where around here that wasn't too far to travel could I go? And it ends up that there's a place in, what's it called? Galena, Illinois. I don't know if any of you have ever heard of that place or not, but it's in northwestern Illinois. I think it's right along the Mississippi River, maybe, or not too far. And so I've got a week scheduled there, and I am going to I'm going to since I'm going by myself, it's going to be a retreat. It's going to be a retreat where I can do a bunch of crafting, bunch of, you know, working with my papers and doing things I love. And I'm going to film. That's the plan. Now, everything depends upon, I'm leaving next Friday, not this Friday, not 2 days from today, but the 28th. So now, everything depends upon my being able to get packed up for this trip. And I know what I'm taking. I've got a few projects that I'm working on, a couple of kits that I'm trying to get ephemera ready and all that sort of thing so I can make journals. I got a bunch of fussy cutting that I'm going to take with me. What else did I think I was going to take? Fussy cutting. Oh, I know. I'm doing this Smash a Stack series. I'm going to take my Smash a Stack stuff. And I'm going to film a bunch, hopefully. So there we go. That'll be fun. Okay, so now here's this. Let me put my inks up. Now, what we want to do is, probably since I have this wet one out, I might want to go ahead and wipe these things off. It'll just take a minute here, I think. These are, when we had the virus happening, I bought these, they're the kind of wipes that they were using, that they use in the hospitals to clean off their equipment for like pulmonary rehab. That's where I saw them at. So I bought some of these, and I basically cleaned off everything that came into our house. You know, I would order my food online, and then I would clean everything off with these wipes, and I've got a lot of these wipes still. So they bought a bunch of them. And they clean off your stencils really, really nicely. So I'm going to do this real quick, and then we'll be on our way with making our little thing we're going to make. Now this is going to be at least a two-parter. So I'm hoping to have, I don't know if I'm hoping to have this film, the rest of it filmed before I leave, but it probably isn't going to air until I'm gone. So we'll just have to see. We will just have to see. I know this isn't any fun watching me take the wipe to my stencils, but it's just a necessary thing. Okay, so that's gone. My fingers are orange and green and pink. Okay, so now what we want to do is, I have this part of her printable, and I'm wanting to use this section here. So I'm going to tear off the white space. Let's see, let me put my thing over here like this. There we go. I don't know about you, but it's really hard to get these little white edges off with a tear ruler, I think. For me, I got to really hold a lot of pressure on the ruler. And my nails kind of get in the way. Okay, so there's that. And then I measure an 1 3/4 over. So let me get this on an inch line somewhere. All right, there's an inch line. So here's an inch, and here's 3/4. And then I'm going to go another inch and another 3/4. And then I'm going to tear. And I'm going to try and get it all lined up on my mat to where I tear straight. Tearing straight is important. Okay. Alrighty. So now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold it in half. And I need something to glue on. So I'm going to grab a piece of glue page. If I can grab it. I only want one. I keep grabbing about 5. Come on now. Okay, there we go. Much better. Okay, so now I'm going to use my glue stick. And you know, I have had difficulty off and on with my glue stick. I know Julie actually has said she's had problems with glue sticks. Well, I have decided, and this may not work for everyone. I use Yoo-hoo. I've decided that I work in the basement and it's kind of chilly down here. And when I first start using it, it's kind of, you can tell it's kind of hard. The glue stick itself is. So I have to go over my paper, you know, a few times to where you can feel that it's loosening up. The glue is loosening up and gliding smoothly across the paper. And then I don't seem to have a problem with it. That's just something that I've discovered, you know, kind of on my own a little bit. I don't know if it's going to help anybody else or not, but it sure helped me because I was really kind of getting discouraged with the whole thing. And then another thing, there's a couple of different things I've done to help alleviate curling. One thing that seems to help is if you press it on both sides. That kind of seems to help. Okay, so if I can get it picked up, it's glued itself to my table. Okay. Now what we're going to do is, this is the front. This is the front. And this is the back. So you want to make sure you're gluing your pages together properly. Otherwise your book won't open up right. So the way we're going to glue is on the back of this. Okay. So the way we're going to do this is, so when the book is open, it's going to look like this. Okay? And we're going to glue our pages on here like this. And I'm going to glue them in a 1/2 inch to where this center section is going to be 3/4 inch. Does that make sense to everybody? We will kind of see that here in a minute. Just want to make sure that I've got the colors matching up the way I want them to. Yeah, I think they'll be fine. Okay, so glue page. Now I'm going to work on gluing this one first. Oh no. What's on this side? Maybe I want to glue it this way. We'll see. I don't know how to look, but we'll find out. No, I want it this way. We're going to do it that way. I like to change my mind. Okay. I really like that. That is really pretty. It's all pretty. I like that too. It's pretty. I like the colors and I like the stencil design. So I want to put the glue on this strip, and I'm going to try and just keep the glue in about a 1/4 inch in from the edge. Maybe a little bit more, but I don't want to go over too much. And then I'm going to line my little strip up here. I'm going to avoid that bottom white piece. I'm going to line my strip up like that. And I'm going to take this and I'm going to bring it in a 1/2 inch. Come on, you're not supposed to move around. You're supposed to stay where I put you. Put this in a 1/2 inch, or yeah, that's a 1/2 inch. Try to get it lined up at the top. Whoops. I said I was going to avoid the bottom. Okay. There we go. Okay. So there's that, like that. Isn't that pretty? So now what we're going to do is we're going to find my scissors and we're going to trim this off. I cut it a little crooked. I shouldn't have done that second cut. Okay, so this is the top. And this is the top. And I'm going to turn this around to glue it, but I'm going to turn it back around to put that on there. So just because I'm right-handed and I can glue easier like this is why I'm doing this. And I cut that off so I can line it up better. And I don't have to put glue all the way up. I put it up further than I really needed to. So now we're going to turn this around. And turn that around too. Well, we don't even need that. So we're going to line this up again. This time I am going to go all the way to the bottom. And this is my front, so I want it to face down. I'm going to line it up with this line here and try to keep it about a 1/2 inch so that we're all in line. Looks like we're in line. So there we go. There we go. Now, on the ones I already fixed, I think I did something I don't like. I don't know if I'll be able to correct it or not. I think I can. We're going to try. But I'm going to cut this off straight across. Like that. And that's all I'm going to do for now. I'm not going to cut anything else. Now, of course, you know you're not supposed to fold when things are wet. I mean, maybe you don't know that, but you're not. You're not supposed to, but I'm going to because we're doing a video here. And I am going to line up my envelope at the bottom, or at the bottom and the side. And I'm going to do this like that. So there it is, all closed up. And you know, these envelopes are not square or straight or whatever you want to call it. They're not correct, you know. And we're just human beings, and we're making this stuff by hand. And so it isn't perfect by any stretch of the imagination. But it is going to be very nice when it's done. And I don't want that to stick together. So this is our front and this is our back. So now I've got the other pieces ready. This is what I don't like that I'm going to try and correct. I think the girl trimmed everything off like that, but I'm not sure. So now, if you make this, I got to put my glue on, my lid. If you make one of these, when you're gluing your pieces to the binding, this is the binding here. When you're gluing your pieces to the binding, you got to match them upright, okay? So this is page 1 and this is page 8, I guess. So here's page, no, how many pages do I have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess I have 8 pages. All right, so that's page 1 and page 8. Here's page 2 and page 7. So you attach 2 and 7 together. And the easiest way I found to keep this right in my mind is to just open it up like a book. As I'm putting it together, open it up like a book. So then here's page 3 and page 6, I guess. Yeah. And then here's our last page that goes in the center. This is our center page. So it goes like this. So now the binding is all Julie Torrens. This is Julie Torrens. And these binding pages here are Julie Torrens. Now, before I come back, I'm going to work on trying to straighten this out. Don't know exactly how I'm going to straighten it out. But I'm going to work on it. And to make it more to my liking, let's put it that way. And then once I get it straightened out, we'll come back and we'll bind this all together. But I want you to see all these pretty pages. Aren't these pretty? Yeah, can you see all these? This is a Tim Holtz, and I think this is Tim Holtz, I think. Yeah. And this is a Delusions, I believe. Yeah. Called Dialogue. D-Y-A-L-O-G. This is on one side of the stencil, and this is on the other side of the stencil. And this is a Stamperia stencil. That's the Tim Holtz. That's the scrapbook.com. And then this, I have no clue what this is. I don't have any packaging other than a cellophane thing. This is a Tim Holtz. This is a Tim Holtz. Oh, look, I didn't realize I had two orange ones. I didn't want that. Oh, well, I got it. Okay, so this is going to be it for today. And we will come back in the next video and we will decorate. And hopefully we can start making ephemera, or maybe I'll have made some already. And we can start filling it up. But it's other than what I have stenciled on here, everything else is, and the envelopes obviously, everything else is going to be Julie Torrens's, mostly spring printable. I might use some of her others depending upon the colors she has in there, but it's mostly going to be her spring one. So that is a video for today. You guys take care. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.